All Stop Sports, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? What an incredible night of boxing we had December 10th. I'm going to go ahead and give my post-fight thoughts on the action. I'm going to start with the Terence Crawford versus John Molina Jr. fight. And man, oh man, what an incredible performance by Terence Bud Crawford. 8th round TKO. I did a prediction on this. I had him stopping Molina in the 9th. I was a round off. But man, he just was beating this dude's ass from pillar to post. He literally had Molina following him and just walking into the lead left hand, whop, when he switched to southpaw 30 seconds, about a minute and a half into the fight. I thought that his jab was working because it's coming from his dominant hand. That's why I love the southpaw stance for Terence Crawford. His right hand is his naturally dominant hand. So when he's jabbing, he's leading with his strong hand. And then the quick right hook is really strong. I really just like the way that he's able to move. His movement is beautiful. He has a feathery touch approach with his feet, with his gracefulness, with how he can move. And then, the combinations and the body work that he was able to really execute against John Molina. Now, I know his trainer said prior to the fight that this was a tailor-made fight for Terence Crawford. And I just think that he just gets better and better each performance. Early in the year, he dominated Hank Lundy, did it, easy 12-round victory over Victor Postal. And then he dominates and stops John Molina Jr., who we've rarely seen stopped in the 8th round. I just love how he set everything up in the 8th round with this body shot, straight left to the body. Wow, that's the one that had Molina staggering and backed up into the corner. He followed that with a quick right that also staggered Molina. And when he was in the corner, he didn't stop attacking the body from there either. It's just a beautiful performance. My opinion, I think Terence Crawford is definitely a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter. I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves by mainstream media. You read a lot of articles and they say he needs to move up, but he really did. We've seen him at 130, 135, and now 140. It's like they always want to see him, they want to see him lose. So the main articles that you read on ESPN or certain websites and blogs, the comment sections, there's a lot of hate on Terence Crawford. Now, let's talk about what we think is going to happen for Bud going forward. I did see his trainer said for a nice payday they will consider a matchup against Vasyl Lomachenko at 137. Man, would I love to see that, because I'd love to see him whoop Lomachenko's ass. Lomachenko does not want to fuck with Terence Bud Crawford. I'm just going to say it like that. He does not want those problems. Terence Bud Crawford will be too big, too strong, and he's a masterful, skillful technician and with a high ring IQ. That's a bad matchup for Lomachenko. Now, if he wants a second loss, how is he top 10 pound for pound with one to Orlando Salido? I don't know, but that's another video. I just don't think that Terence Crawford would have much to worry about with with Lomachenko. They did ask him for some odd reason about Errol Spence Jr. He said that, obviously Errol Spence Jr. is at 147. Terence is campaigning at 140 right now, but he said that's something he would be interested in the future. I checked Errol Spence's Twitter. A fan had tweeted him and asked him, "Did you hear what Crawford just said?" Spence said, "What'd he say?" The fan replied with saying, "Well, he said that he's ready for you." And Errol Spence Jr. said, "Yeah, that fight's going to happen." So in the future, I think that'll happen. But I don't think that fight's going to really get talked about until 2019. The reason why I say that is because Terence Crawford, I don't think, will move up to welterweight until the end of 2017. So you need to give him a solid year, which would be 2018, before he's, acclimated to the welterweight division. And if Spence is still around, that's the mega fight around 2019 that I think we could look for. He wants the Pacquiao fight. I really don't see Freddie Roach interested in that fight, or Manny Pacquiao. But, I'll talk about that matchup when they sign that contract. What I think Terence Crawford wants to do is unify the division. He talked about another matchup with Ricky Burns, who's a champion. He also talked about the African who just stopped Troyanovsky last weekend, who is a champion. I would love to see that, Terence Crawford be the unified champion at 140 and then move up. But that's what his options were. I know he's not really calling anybody out necessarily, but, he does keep saying he wants to unify the division. And I would love to see him do that prior to moving up to 147. But those are my thoughts on that one. Terence Bud Crawford with another sensational performance. All Stop Sports. I'll holla at y'all.